Well, ladies and gents, this really is hot off the press. I've only just seen it. I don't know if you've seen it yourself. Old Alison Hammond in tears. Have you seen it yet? Have you not? Well, I'll tell you quickly. They're doing a quick review of yesterday's news, and obviously the big news yesterday is their own Philip Schofield with his not one, but two interviews. They cut to a bit of each interview with the BBC reporter and with the Sun reporter. And there's a panel, the four of them. There's old Dermot, there's Alison, there's a lady, I'm not sure of her name, but I know her well, and there's old Gyles Brandreth. You can always rely on Gyles, can't you? They're doing a quick review of what they've seen yesterday. And Gyles said, because Philip was saying everyone's against him, he's in a really bad place. Philip was saying, I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm going to tell you, what do people want? I can't go out the house anymore. I can't think of TV anymore. I'm broken. I'm completely broken. I don't know if he's thinking how the lad feels at the moment, but he's broken. He just doesn't see a future. What do people want? Do they want death for him? Because that's how he feels. If it wasn't for his two daughters who've been with him every minute of every day and will not leave his side, although they did for the two interviews by the looks of things, I didn't see them there, that might be what have happened to him. Now, that's just a quick one for the guy in America that said I shouldn't have mentioned the other day death on air and suicide. I did say, sir, that's not what I wanted for anybody in this whole scenario. But I have known people in high up places that when they lose everything and when they're right at the bottom of the rung and they've been on the top of the ladder there, that's a route out. That's a route out for them. It might be weak, it might be cowardly, but I've known many do it. And that's what he's mentioned today, Mr. America. So I was right, sir, wasn't I? Not that I really believe that Philip's thinking along them lines. If I'm suicidal and don't want to meet anybody, can't face anybody, and think I've really let myself down in the eyes of everybody, the whole of the public, the last thing I do is invite two people into my house to do blockbuster interviews with. I think the spin machine at ITV still is working through Philip for all, he's not with them anymore. More about that in a further interview. But yeah, so we go around the table there, and before we get to Alison in tears, they say to Gyles, and what do you think of that, Gyles? Well, he said, everybody is against him, and he may have done some things wrong, but everybody is against him. And at a time like this, he's always got a quote, Gyles. He's always got a quote. He come out with a pearler here. At a time like this, I think of the words of Henry James. I think he said, the American author who lived in the UK. And he said in life we have to be three things. Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Now, I half understand that, Gyles. I half understand that. But there's a bloke I know called Britain's grumpiest old git. And he's got a take on that. And he said in life, funnily enough, there's three things that we need to be. And he says, what we need to be is tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Because, Philip, if you'd not lied throughout this whole sordid business, it wouldn't have got to where it is now. And executives at ITV, had you have not been complicit in his lies through all of this, it wouldn't have got to where it is now. So then, as I say, we go to Alison, and she's in tears. I don't know how to take all this. I don't want to call Philip, but I know what he did was wrong. I feel so sorry for him. I can see he's a broken man. He's a friend. He's a good friend. He's always been a friend to me. Maybe he has, Alison. Sounds like you're one of the few, lovey. Because from what I can gather, from what I've heard, there's plenty at this morning didn't like him, or should I say he didn't like them. And there's plenty at Loose Women that didn't like him, or he didn't like them. Plenty. So you're one of the real few. And as for you, Gyles, you love the working place. You love working there. You love everything about it. Of course you do. Gyles, you're 85. He likes his men at 20, not 85. So you were safe. There's nothing. You had nothing to worry about. And you're old school, Gyles. If anything had happened to you in any way, shape or form, even through his mouth, you'd have told people. People of our age group, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, we speak up. The younger generation don't. They're afraid of consequence. They've seen what happened to, is it Dr. Raj and Dan Wooten? But Alison, the tears, I'm not sure I understand them, love. I think they should be more for the young boy than anybody else. And I think if you're really genuine in your emotions there, Alison, just think of it like this. If he'd have not cheated for as long as he did, and if he'd have told us about the affair the 2 or 3 years before he came out as gay, if he'd have told his wife about the affair 2 or 3 years before he came out as gay, it wouldn't have got to where it is now. It wouldn't, love. But because he's a man in power with oodles of money, He's well respected, well looked after by his production team and the powers that be at ITV. Because of all of that, because he brought the boy over here from the northwest down to the smoke there. That's the problem here, Alison. That is the problem. Doesn't matter whether the boy was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It wouldn't have mattered. There's still a 30-odd year age gap, and he's still been seducing the boy with the bright lights, the money, the fame. And then when it didn't work out for him, he shunted him aside. No tears for him, Alison. No tears for him. At 1:15 tomorrow in my exclusive, we've got Timothy on again. And he's going to be having a pop again at Philip. He's going to be a bit tongue-in-cheek. He's going to be a bit near the knuckle. It's not meant, by the way, for all them conspiracy theories. It's not meant. I believe in times like this, we have a laugh. We laugh about everything. It's the best way, because at the moment, all it is doom and gloom. But what you'll notice on here, folks, is I don't mention the boy's name. I don't put his pics up, ever. And I'm not going to. And for all I'm laughing and joking about this, some other time, I know it's a serious business. And there's nobody feels sorrier for that boy than me. Nobody. But will I be shedding tears for Philip Schofield as Alison has today? No, I won't.